Hey guys, Tony Martinez here with Negozee. We're here in sunny California, and I have some guests today. Nadia has joined us from Texas. Hola, Nadia.
Hey everyone. Yes, all here from Dallas, Texas. Loving this weather. Not sure if I'll be able to come back. It is amazing here. So thank you
Yeah,
everybody for hosting me. Doris and Tony for hosting me here in this beautiful weather.
of course. And also Doris is here from our team locally.
Hi, guys, from locally. Yes. Thank you so much, Nadia, for coming out here. I love it. You're super tan already. It's amazing. Tony, thank you so much for having us as well. I'm happy to be here. We're going to do a few Q&As, right?
Yeah,
Let me go ahead and pass this
of
back
course.
here.
Yeah. So we were earlier at the Negozee office, and it's nice. It's a co-working.
Yes.
But I was telling Nadia, man, it's such a nice day outside. Let's go outside. So you found a cool little spot here. So we're
Yeah.
chilling under the sun with some shade to go over a few topics that are on our mind. So the first topic is upcoming events. There's a lot of events coming up this year in the tax and accounting industry. For example, next week we'll be in Las Vegas for Latino Tax Fest, and I understand you're a speaker there, Nadia.
Yes. Next week I'll be leading 3 different sessions in English and Spanish. I will have one about your road to a successful S corp. So we're talking about those Schedule Cs, our taxpayer clients that we have as a Schedule C, and we see the amount of self-employment tax that they're paying. Should we put them on a road trip with us to an S corporation? So that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. Sometimes it's a good idea, sometimes it's not as beneficial as we think. So I will help the attendees understand when is it a good idea, good tax savings idea to send them the S corp route, or maybe we don't send them there. And first, are they even allowed to go down that route?
Yeah, and that's a good way to become more than just a tax preparer, to be kind of a tax advisor, do some tax planning, right? Because I always like to say, don't just see your clients once a year during the season. You should be seeing them. I like saying like in the fall. In the summer,
Yes.
you could see them, but they're busy.
Yes.
But between Labor Day and Thanksgiving, it's a time to bring them in.
Oh, for
Maybe
sure.
analyze the year. Be like, hey, you're a Schedule C. You did it great this year. You're in construction. You're a
Yes.
restaurant. Let's maybe get you to be an S corp soon,
Yes.
because that self-employment tax does add up.
Oh,
overall.
yes. And there's that, and that's what I'm going to guide our audience with next week is start thinking in that route of not just because the taxpayer heard a social media ad about S
Mm.
corporations. My goal with this session is to make you feel empowered to be the driver of the situation because you are the advisor, you are the one with the expertise. So I want to empower you to make that decision with the client of is it good to send them down an S corp route, because sometimes they might not even be allowed to be an S corporation shareholder.
Mm.
And so how to identify those situations, but very important how Tony is saying, bring those topics earlier than December 31st or April 15. That is the worst. So let's really try to help our clients throughout the year. And in my experience, clients are more than happy to pay you for that advice because they want to feel like they're taken care of and they're understanding and feeling empowered for those financial decisions.
Yeah, and for Doris, I know as a tax professional, you work with business clients. Do they ever ask about S corporations or
They do.
taxes?
And honestly, the questions are when there's not enough profit out of the business, but only because of so much, I want to say, misguided social media advice. Everybody wants an S corp, and they're profiting about 20K when it's not really as advantageous as it would be for somebody making a bit more profits. And yeah, we spoke about this last year too. She literally asked me because I went around Latino Tax Fest last year asking everybody, when did you start your S corp? When do you recommend it? And I heard from 50 to 60, 70, $80,000 to begin for profits to begin as an S corporation. And I think just the most often her number, I think, was about 60,000 in
Yeah.
profits, so
Wow.
that it would be profitable to because there's a lot of costs that come also with an S corporation. So that is something to be mindful of.
Oh,
Any costs related for S corps, so to let people know, not everything on social media is real. What other costs are there as an S corporation? I'm gonna hand this back.
Oh, yeah. So as an S corporation, I can tell you one of the things is you have a sole proprietor. Most likely they're operating as a DBA, as a doing business as, right? They haven't incorporated it as an LLC or they haven't incorporated it as a corporation. The cost to just incorporate, there's a cost. I think California is $800, whether this LLC is profitable or not. They have to pay $800 a year to stay as an LLC. And then not only that, but hey, the tax pro, it's going to take us some time to prepare that S corporation tax return. And we need that expertise. We are constantly taking classes to stay up with the tax law. So we will be charging for an extra return.
Mm.
And this is what we're getting paid for, right? We're here to be your advisor. We're here to prepare correctly that filing of the 1120S. And so, yeah, our fee is going to go up. Our fee is going to go up, but is it going to make sense at your status to the profit that you're bringing in, that you're going to have to pay those extra fees, right? We're going to sit down and show you those numbers. And so that's one of the sessions that I'll be talking about in Latino. The other session that I will be talking about, I am going to do a 4-hour S Corporation course.
Nice.
Because S Corporation is another whole thing to learn.
Yeah,
So I'll be
amazing.
doing 4 hours of that, and then I'll do one session about think like an advisor.
Okay.
And it's going to be really fun. This is going to be an interactive session that we'll be doing because we're going to go through a mock 1040 return and start thinking like an advisor. You know, you're not just seeing a W-2 entered on line 1 of the return, but you know, what else? Do they contribute to a 401k? Do they have a Schedule C? What do they have going on? What does this taxpayer have going on in their life? And how can we start coming in and not just helping them with their compliance, but also helping them identify tax strategies for the current year or going forward? You know, now do we open a retirement account? Now do we get self-insurance, healthcare insurance? So just thinking like an advisor is what my goal with that session is.
No, and amazing. And overall, it looks like that's where the market is going, right? Now with like the advancements of artificial intelligence and the software is being more automated, if somebody has a basic W-2, they're going to go online and do it somewhere. But
Correct.
the business owners or the individuals that have assets or they're building their wealth, they're looking for an advisor.
Yes.
They're looking for that kind of information or that advice from their professional that they can't find online, or they find online but they want to verify.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, you start kind of segmenting your client base and start serving that type of client, because you are going to encounter, right? When you raise your fees or when you bring something up, ¿por qué cobran tanto? They went up.
Yeah.
And that's fine that they feel that way, but that may not be your client, ideal client, maybe, right?
Correct.
So when you start kind of serving and offering tax advice and understanding, getting trained like a Latino Tax Fest on how to serve that client, start attracting people that are like that.
Yes.
And then you start building up your practice to serve that market, which is a very profitable market, right?
Yes.
Overall.
And that's how I met Doris. Doris and I met at a conference, right? An education conference. And it's really empowering to see these tax professionals that are there hungry for the education, because you can see the passion of, they know how to do taxes up to a point where they feel comfortable, but then that's why they're attending these conferences. That's why they're becoming members of Negozee, because they want to put in the time to really feel educated to help their clients. And I think that's a market that's underserved, which is what Tony was talking about, right? And Doris, is that the Latino market is definitely a community that is being underserved with resources. And this is where I would love to contribute more with educating and bringing that knowledge and sharing that knowledge, because as you can tell, as a community, we are better together and we accomplish so much if we stick together and learn from each other and teach each other.
Yeah.
Right, Doris?
Yeah, yes. Thank you so much. No, and it's so true. I feel like also, like you said, underserved communities, a lot of people are afraid to ask, and it's not something that's so common. It's not fun. Let's go talk taxes. It's not fun. Let's go talk. Although it's more open-minded now. People do want to talk business. People do want to get ahead. But of course, you need people trusted in different industries like that, you know, where you can network and also get answers to a lot of different questions, including mileage, so on and so forth, which I had so many questions on.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just important. I'm so glad that you guys are here with us today.
Yeah, for sure. And then I know next on the tour, the summer tour, will be in Long Beach in July. So July 24th is our Emprende 360 Long Beach event.
Okay.
And that one is more than just tax, right? It's tax, insurance, real estate, capital. Because what we've noticed, what I was telling Nadia earlier, is most of these tax professionals in the Hispanic market, they're more multi-servicios, multi-service businesses. And they do offer other financial services. And that kind of, it's perfect for the Latino market. Because I notice the Latino market, when they go to you, and you have them with the taxes, they're asking about, hey, escuché en TikTok sobre inversiones, sobre crypto.
Yeah.
Or mi cuñado compró una casa con su ITIN. Hey, puedo agarrar un préstamo para mi negocio. So they start asking these questions. And a lot of our Negozee members, they also offer different services in that market, or they want to learn about different services. And that's exactly what the Emprende Summer Series. So we were in Miami in May. We were in New York tomorrow. We'll be in New York in June.
Yeah.
in July in Long Beach.
Okay.
But the attendees, they're tax professionals, a lot of them, but a lot of them are also multi-service businesses
Mhm.
that are looking to understand and serve that market as well. And so, yeah, so.
No, that's great that you're bringing them all together in one place.
Mhm.
And that's how it is. You start meeting these people that have those same values as you. And some of them might be more advanced in one topic versus another topic, but coming together and just meeting those that, hey, and it is because your clients start becoming those clients that come to you for everything, not just only taxes, but yes, now they're interested at, what about insurance? So you do feel as a professional, you feel that, right, that duty of wanting to help them. And so you become a multi-service, you become or even if you're not interested in multi-service, hey, at least you met a great contact at the Long Beach event with Negozee that they're trusted, and you can send some of your clients over for that one specific insurance or that real estate thing, because yeah, it really is, the community comes together to help each other out.
If you don't mind, thank you. I was just checking the camera, but yes, about Long Beach, I attended last year, and I feel like it's so important that apart from social media, you kind of see people, but it's different meeting them in person. And for me, it's very important to meet people that I can trust and give a referral to. It's not just a referral, it's not just a kickback that we're getting back. I need to be able to know and sleep well at night that you're going to be a trusted advisor in a different field, knowing the type of job that they do, the work gets done properly. So that's how important it is. And I love attending these events, and God willing, everything will be soon. Will be okay with my car. I'm just kidding. But we'll see how to get to Long Beach in July and take the Negociantes in the car too. Doesn't matter which car. I'll drive everybody out there. Let's go.
We'll get it back and go.
It's a van. Throw me sick Negociantes in there. We'll drive from the Bay Area to Long Beach. I'm down. But the reason being is I was able to meet so many other people, and it's a different setting because I love Latino Texas in Las Vegas. You can feel the energy when you're at conferences like that. You just want to learn, you want to absorb, and you want to meet people and connect. And Long Beach was a little bit smaller of an event, a little bit more, personal. But it was a different vibe where it was different industries getting together,
Yeah.
not just in the taxes, but also finances and real estate. So I had a lot of conversations on the side after the event, and also other social media influencers were
Yeah,
there
they
as well,
were.
speaking about their projects and things like that. So if everybody's invited, I believe it's July.
July 24th.
It is July 24th. Okay. And also with the code word Doris, you can be a
Oh,
free,
nice.
you can get free membership for a month with Negozee. I am
you
the
go.
Bay Area membership director. We're about to have lunch, so I'm going to get my money's worth for that. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I love it.
But yeah, so you can use that code and get free membership, and it'll be a less cost for the ticket. If I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
mistaken.
And then a lot of people
that's like a
have been asking, like, what is Negozee? Because I see you guys do like articles, you do webinars, you do a lot of tax content. But at the end of the day, like Negozee es negocio. It's business. So what we're seeing is that there's millions of these Latino immigrants, business owners, families that want to succeed in America. They want to buy assets. They want access to capital. They want to file their taxes. And what we're looking to do with all of our negociantes, which are all of our financial professionals that are members, we want to make sure that they have the tools and resources they need to serve that market. So we specifically do trainings on how the new immigration and tax law will affect these families in this market. So one big webinar we do, big class, is immigrants and taxes. So if you have an I-10, do you have access to certain tax credits? If you have a Schedule C with an I-10, could you become an S Corp? Yes, no, why not?
Yes.
And the big thing happening this year, we'll talk about it now, is the big tax cuts. It's not the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, that was the last one, but
It's about to expire, right?
it's gonna
It's gonna
expire.
expire, so something's gonna happen
And now there's
really
a lot of
big at the end of
legislation.
the year. Either it expires and we go back to how it was, and if does our memory serve us right? What happened? 2018? What was the last thing that
Yeah.
happened? We've forgotten about it. So let's really start refreshing, because something big will happen at the end of the year, no matter what. It's gonna expire, or we get a new bill that will pass and become effective.
Yeah, and there's some legislation already that's out there that passed the House. It's in the Senate, and I know they're debating changing it up, but it has to do with it looked like QBI could go up to 23%. The child tax credit now has the parents, they need social security numbers.
Before they didn't.
They
Right now,
didn't
they
before.
don't need a social
Yeah,
security.
exactly.
So as long as the child has a valid social security number, child tax credit can come into play.
Yeah.
According to this bill that will pass, if it passes, if it does, the Social Security is required for the parents, and that's completely new. It's never been like this in the tax code system. So that's a huge impact.
Big one as well.
Yes.
Yeah, there's also like no tax on tips. They want to like do something there. It looks like they're not eliminating Social Security tax in the bill, but they are raising the standard deduction for individuals over 65. So they're
Yes.
doing different things in this legislation, and that's why we like to keep everybody updated.
Which is great, right? Don't we have an event coming up in September?
Yes, so in
For that
September, we'll be
purpose.
covering that. So Nadia is going to be one of our speakers
Yes.
at our first ever inaugural Negozee National Conference happening at the Manchester Grand Hyatt right on the beach in San Diego, California.
Yes.
And we'll be going over everything with the new legislation, the new tax law that we'll see if it passes by September.
Yes.
But we're going to have different expertos like CPAs, enrolled agents, attorneys, immigration attorneys. And the Negozee Conference is in conjunction with the NAREP, the National Hispanic Real Estate Professional Conference. So we're going to have about 500 of our negociantes, but they're bringing about 3,000 of their real estate professionals in the same hotel. So
That's
thousands of Hispanic entrepreneurs and financial professionals all in the same.
That's gonna be amazing. I know Tony called me and he said, "Hey, beach." That's all I heard, and I say, "Settlers."
La playa.
I will be there, so I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, we need a van from Texas and a van from the Bay, a bunch of pick people up in New
That
Mexico.
one too. Oh yeah, here.
Oh yeah, so no, that's what I'm looking forward to. September. You know, who knows what's gonna happen from today until September, but September we're gonna keep you updated on what we know as of the latest. And even if it's still going back and forth, this new bill that might or might not get passed, we still need to update you on what could happen if nothing passes.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
'cause
going to be big.
either way, next tax
Yes.
season is going to be different.
Very different.
Because even if the like you said, like the tax bill doesn't pass,
Yes.
the current Tax Cuts and Jobs Act has an expiration date of this year, right?
Yes.
December 31st, 2025.
Yeah.
So either we revert and people see it as new, even though
Yes.
it's kind of old,
Yeah.
or there's something new.
Yes.
And so it's going to be interesting. Do you have clients right now, Doris, that are asking you about this new legislation?
Not just clients, but also on social media. they're
social
asking me.
media.
And more than anything, apart from all the very important information between the IT and Social Security and of course child tax credit, which is huge, the entertainment write-off.
Entertainment
TCJA.
write-off.
You guys remember that? That's what people are asking
Oh,
about
yeah,
now,
because
wanting to know
if it
about it.
reverts back
If
to
it
that,
reverts
you could go back
back
to
to
entertaining
it's going to be
clients.
100% entertainment, which is I was thinking about last week at
That's
Topgolf
interesting.
with Pam and Marisol. And so that's what people are asking me about because
cool.
everything they're like, if they're not too worried about, an iTunes situation, but
Yeah.
I guess, but it's like you said, it's good to know to start learning about it as well because a lot of negociantes will be impacted, not just negociantes, but in general, IT and Social Security. So yeah, here you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
We need to refresh our memory on what it was, what life was before TCJA, because it's going to come to us whether we like it or not. And what better way to be prepared is to really pay attention to the changes coming and attend events like the one in September where we'll get together and really start thinking about those clients of ours that will be affected.
Yeah, no, great. And then for everybody that's listening, I know we're going to place this content all over social media. Is let us know where you're located, right? Drop your zip code in the comments because there's Negozee meetups in every region of the country, right? In Dallas and Miami, New York. We even have one Negozee Centro Financiero in la Ciudad de Mexico, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, through one of our members, Miguel Gobea, he also became an investor of Negozee. And once you become a Negozee investor, you get access to a Centro Financiero, and he happens to have an office in Ciudad de Mexico.
How fun.
Point is, we're always meeting up, even if it's for a simple lunch or a coffee, because the power of the network is what helps us grow our wealth, right?
Yes.
Because we're able to connect with other people that are in the financial services industry. Some of us are doing more accounting, others are doing real estate, others are doing capital. And so queremos ser todos amigos, colegas.
Yes.
So we can help each other grow. And it's fun. We get a coffee. You were doing Topgolf last week, It's fun.
The food was right off, not the entertainment. Yes, it was amazing. If I may, Nadia, thank you. And to Tony and Nadia's point, I think it's so important for us as a community to just build those important relationships and be able to rely on each other. And not only that, but not gatekeep information. So I feel like we're not maybe we may not be super millionaires right now, super duper wealthy, but at least I know that in clean conscience we are helping the community in our own way. And also with that, certain reputation as being able to be trusted advisors in our fields. That's just something that I wanted to mention to anybody that does. Tony has a point. More meetups. Let's get together. It doesn't just have to be in the finance industry. I've been meeting people from all over or, just because you can tell when somebody wants to do good in the community and help people in any type of way that you can. So it's nice to network in different areas. But if anybody's, we're in Campbell, right? Headquarters
Mhm.
is in Campbell. You're in Texas. I'm in San Jose. You have people, we're in Colombia,
Yeah, we actually have
Mexico,
an
Nueva
office in
York.
Colombia también.
Invitamos a todos.
A todos. Yeah, no, that's what, you know why? Because in the world, there's about 500 million humans that speak Espanol across the globe. And most of them are in the Western Hemisphere, right? There's obviously in España también. So we estimate about, out of the 500 million, about 100 million of them are more than likely like business owners or financial professionals across the globe. So the idea is for all of us to hang out together, right? Connect.
Yeah.
Because especially with the Latino market, there's a lot of aspects of international business.
Correct.
Because we all have family members from Mexico and Colombia and Argentina that may want to invest in the U.S. capital markets, or we may want to go to other countries to retire. So by bringing people together just to hang out in a very organic way and authentic, people start doing business together. And that's the vision behind Negozee, right? To create this kind of LinkedIn social professional network where people could have profiles. But now the next layer is those that actually have offices, we want to make them into financial centers so the public could go into those offices to get a service done. And because it's en español, they're Latinos, there's empathy, and more empathy, more connections, and more business is done.
That's awesome. So we'll see you next week.
Yeah, so we see each other soon in Vegas and then Long Beach or San Diego. Thanks, everybody. Saludos. Thanks, Nadia. Thanks, Doris. See you soon.